Hello, how's everybody doing? Can you hear me well? If you can hear me, please let me know. Because usually when I'm at the Dubai Mall, there's always an issue with the connection. If you're here, let me know, guys. Please say hello so I know that you're here. Don't be shy. Just a quick hello so I know that everything is working, that you can hear me, and obviously give it a like so that more people get to watch this. Sergio, how are you doing, bud? Everybody can hear me. Wonderful, wonderful. So basically, the number one question I'm getting right now from the people who are not on my page, and if you're on my page, and you should know what's going on, and you should not be worried because we've done an update, I believe, like a week ago, somewhere around a week ago. Nothing unexpected is happening. Everything is fine. But if you're a Patreon member, all you have to do whenever you have a question is go back and read the one of the latest posts on Patreon, right? Right now, number one question I'm getting from the people who are not on Patreon, though, is it all over or are we back? Which is exactly why this title is called this, which is amusing. I find it amusing because people are so emotional, right? So when everything is going up, everybody's so excited and happy. When we get some kind of correction, everybody is depressed about it. Just like in a bear market, when it's the accumulation phase and we're down like 80, 90, and 95%, it's time to buy. People don't want to buy because they're waiting for lower. But anyway, uh, what am I going to say in that matter? What I'm going to say in that matter? Join my Patreon, and you'll get my updates on what I think is happening in the market. Other than that, what I want to mention, right? So once again, this is one of the things to do with that, what we're talking about, how sentiment changes basically. So when the market was pumping and we were taking profits every day, practically every single day for like I don't know, for like 3 months or something, people were excited about it, and yeah, there were no questions as in like why am I selling? But now when the market is correcting, and then whenever I sell, people right away ask, do I think it's because it's over? No, it's not because I think it's over. It's simply because I keep reiterating one thing on Patreon, and I reiterate on Twitter, and I reiterate it here. Probably if you listened, you noticed it. Turn taking profits into a habit, right? It doesn't mean that you should sell your entire bag or half your bag. It means that you should sell when your coin is going up, regardless of your price targets. Because as I've mentioned many times, the majority of price targets in crypto are never met. You have to be aware of that. So whenever your coin is going up, just sell systematically. 5% here, another 10% as it goes higher, another 7% as it goes higher, another 15% as it goes higher, another 20% as it goes higher, another 5, another 5, another 10. You get the point basically without trying to catch it up. Pay yourself and get out. And that's one of the things that I try to reiterate and teach. Um, Today, for example, we sold 5% of one bag and 5% of another bag. If you're a $99 tier member and patron, you know what I'm referring to. The coins I'm referring to, one of the profits was roughly 2,000%, and the other one was significantly smaller, but it was still a decent good profit. Anyway, uh, what I'm trying to say is, right, you know what I think if you're on my Patreon. So, that's that. Uh, Other than that, I'm always going to be selling systematically, right? I kept reiterating this. No matter what this market does, whether or not the targets are met or not, whether or not I sell too early or sell too late, the point is I'm going to always sell systematically, right? And I do believe, what I believe that there's still going to be one push, large push. What happens before that push is a different question. But I do believe that there's going to be a large push where many altcoins are going to retrace 50% below their all-time highs at least. Some make new all-time highs and deliver great profits. Some do okay, and some disappoint, do nothing. And that's basically where I'm going to be locking in heavily. Although I've been locking in profit systematic nonstop throughout this uptrend, we're going to truly, what I mean by that, we're going to truly sell everything and get out of the market. We're probably going to sell early. Like for example, with RNGR, I sold for 5x, 7x, and 10x. And when it started retracing and from 10x back to I think 5x, I sold the whole bag. And people make fun of me for doing that, right? And this is by far not the only coin, right? But you see, this is flawed mindset. This is the problem. Why do people make fun of you, right? Because they're basically trying to sell much higher, and in other words, they're trying to sell the top, which is a very idiotic way to think, right? Very idiotic way to think. I know that very often people don't like the fact basically that their profits are smaller or they have less money to invest. I was there myself once. I was there myself once. There was a time when, in the first cycle, I wanted to make a million. I made much less money. And then only in the second cycle, I got to make over a million. And I had to wait basically another 4 years to get there, right? So what I'm trying to say is you have to take what the market gives you. It's not about what you want. It's about what the market gives you. You have to listen to the market, right? Take what the market gives you. Um, what am I gonna say in that regard? So basically, learn to take profits on the way up. That's very important. What I just mentioned also in the beginning of this live stream. Learn to take profits on the way up without trying to catch the top, because you're not going to catch the top either way. And if you do catch the top on any coin, well done. You're a genius. What can I say? You just outperformed millions of people out there. I've never been able to do that consistently. I don't bullshit, and I don't just what do you like? I don't try to do the popular things. I try to do things that puts money in my pocket and the money of my members, right? And the way to do that is to sell coin while it's in the uptrend. While the coin is going up, whichever coin it is, keep selling it and putting money in your pocket. And do not rotate those profits until the market is down a lot, unless there's some kind of exception. Like, for example, right now, if you remember, I'm using 35% of my Bitcoin profits to accumulate coins. It's nearly been depleted, by the way. I only think I'm going to be able to buy a handful of coins more. And that's it. The 35% of Bitcoin profits will be gone, which means that I will not be allocating any more money in there. Also, if you remember, to this day, that with roughly 45% of my accumulation budget, I missed out. It's still to this day sidelined. It has never been injected into the market for a very simple reason, because a lot of the targets were not met. A lot of targets were met. I executed with roughly 55% of my portfolio, maybe more like 58. And the other, around 45%, was never executed and put into the market for a simple reason, because the price targets were never met. And to this day, that money is sidelined. Do I wish I had bought at the exact bottom and basically have twice the money that I have right now in profits? Of course I do. Who doesn't? But that's just not the way that it works, right? When you try to catch the bottom, you become capo, basically, who was waiting for $12,000 and missed out. And that's not something we were doing. We're buying at roughly 20K, 15K. And if it had gone to roughly 10K, like 12K would have bought there and whatnot, right? So the point I'm trying to make is use that same approach towards tops. One thing, like I keep saying, for example, with every single cycle, we'll learn something new. At least I have with every single cycle. What I have learned with this cycle, right, is to completely forget about price targets. You just basically pretty much the same method that I'm using right now. So wait for major crashes in the future. Once the bull market is over and the market cycle is over, wait for future crashes, diversifying different coins with different narratives, with the preferably equal amounts of money, dollar cost average, wait for the bottom to come in. And once coins start going up, don't think of price targets. Literally, just whichever coin is going up, start selling systematically on the way up. That's it. I think that's even simpler than setting targets, because it's obviously come to the point, we mentioned this before, where profits are diminishing. And this cycle is proof positive of that also. Let's be honest. For now, this has been the baddest cycle we've had so far in terms of ROI, right? And I mean, my best performer so far was Floki, that did 33x. Yes, we caught some 15x and 10x and 18x and 19x and all that kind of stuff. But what I mean is that the overwhelming majority of altcoins haven't moved yet. They have moved in every single cycle, right? So I believe when that pop-off comes, that's where you really need to think about getting out of the market. Regardless of that, you should be paying yourself on the way up. Regardless of your price targets and whatnot, you should be paying yourself and putting money in your pocket. That is a very important element. So these are the two things that I've learned this cycle. Basically, don't set specific price targets, and always pay yourself systematically on the way up, right? Ladder out just the way you dollar cost average in. I would say these are the two very important things I learned this cycle. Let's see if the cycle teaches me anything else. But with every cycle, I do learn something as the market matures and I become an older investor, right? Anyway, if you're a patron member, I will always take care of you. I do my best to take care of you. Just read all the updates, lock in the profits. Once again, it's up to you, right? So, for example, people will always be people. Like, for example, when I sell a coin too early, let's say for 5 or 10x, and then it does a 20x, people get upset with me. But when I sell a coin after 5 or 10x, and then it crashes, 80%, they're very happy with me, saying that, well done, you sold before the 80% crash. So the point I'm trying to make is, Guys, I'm not superhuman. Nobody's superhuman. You're never going to find perfection in this market. You're never going to find somebody who gets everything right and correct, but you are going to find people who make money and make money well and whose methods work, right? My methods work. They're by far not perfect, and they will never be perfect because perfection is a lie, as I keep saying, right? Just make sure, basically, you don't expect perfection from me, yourself, anybody else, because you'll always be disappointed. Make sure that you're simply following the rules. And if you're a Patreon member, I've said this before. I think I wrote this about like 2 or 3 weeks ago. Starting from that update, make sure that you read every single update that's published on Patreon, and you'll be fine. Don't be lazy. If you'll be lazy, because sometimes people do confess to me, I was lazy, I didn't lock in, I couldn't be bothered to transfer crypto from an annual address to the exchange and sell. I was at work, I forgot to read the update and whatnot. Now the coin is down 50%. The point I'm trying to make is, right, now is not the time to get lazy, guys. Now is not the time to get lazy. Make sure that you read all the updates. I literally wake up several times a night to check what the market is doing, despite all the alerts and whatnot. Like, it doesn't matter to me. I make sure that I'm watching what's happening in the market. So if I'm basically putting in the work and all you have to do is read and act accordingly, please, as members, read and act accordingly. Make sure you don't miss any updates. Let's see what you're saying, my friends. Ahmed, Sergio, Tamur Khan, Radoslav. Good to see you here, guys. Hello. Go Sam. Go Sam asks, hi Rob. Shouldn't the oats have gone parabolic now when BTC ranging all-time high? That's what happened in the previous market cycles. Go Sam. Yes, you nearly got it right. There's a very important element that I keep looking out for and I keep mentioning on Twitter and Patreon that I'm waiting for. After Bitcoin breaching, like the way it works is stock markets, stock indexes, and stocks that reach all-time highs, basically, like the Nasdaq and S&P 500. That has happened. Then Bitcoin follows, breaches all-time high. That has happened. There's usually some kind of shenanigans at the all-time highs. Just this time is taking longer than usual. And then what happens is, so basically that has happened. Bitcoin breaches all-time high. Then what happens is Ethereum breaches its all-time high. And then some, not all blue chips, join Ethereum. And that's when some mid caps and small caps go truly parabolic and deliver much better profits than most of the blue chips and Bitcoin and Ethereum and all that. So the phase that we're in right now, right, if the market is to repeat itself roughly, because every single market is different, but kind of the same, history does repeat itself, but it rhymes. What we need right now, stocks have breached all-time high, Bitcoin has breached all-time high. We need to see Ethereum and preferably BNB breach all-time highs. Why BNB specifically, right? Because BNB is a coin of an exchange with the largest trading volume in the world, right? So it's very important. It's a huge factor, basically. If you see BNB breaching all-time highs together with Ethereum, that means that crypto is hot right now. That means that there's strong purchasing power. Basically. That's why it's so important. So that's what we're looking out for. I guess that's some of the things I'll mention. Once again, if you're a Patreon member, don't be lazy and read all the updates and act accordingly. There will not be perfection, but you will outperform the vast majority of this market. That's for sure. Sometimes coins will go higher than when we sold, but the main thing is that you will always put money in your pocket, right? I mean, to this day, like I mentioned earlier, people are making fun of me for selling RNDR for 5, 7, and 10x, and it will probably go higher, and they'll keep making fun of me. Do I give a shit? No, like I don't, because I locked in 5, 7, and 10x. I promise you this, that statistically speaking, that 5, 7x is way more than anybody, like most overwhelming majority of people will make off RNGR or any other coin, because most people, once the top end in the crypto market, roughly 80% lose money, another 10% roughly break even, and another 10% roughly make money, right? So 5, 7, 10x is still more than most people are going to make. Keep that in your mind. Basically stay grounded, guys. That's what I mean. Stay grounded, right? Don't get carried away. We're talking about these times back when we're accumulating in the bear market. We spoke about all the psychological stuff. I tried my best to teach you. I try to this day my best to teach you, and I'll keep trying to do the best by you, right? So I would what I'm doing right now, right? What are the things I've done, because I know that I've reduced my exposure, because usually what I do is I watch a lot of videos, read a lot of newsletters and whatnot to see where the market sentiment is and to gauge it. Right now, I reduced it drastically because I know that there's nothing good for me to read since nobody's saying anything, right? So basically, they're just simply messing with my analysis of the market and my take on the market, and want to make sure that I'm not exposed to that. So when you look at what the majority of people are saying right now, they're flip-flopping, right? Nobody's going to tell you that the market is either going up or down. They're saying, if this happens, we're going to go down. If that happens, we're going to go up. Like, no shit, Sherlock. Like, excuse my French. Like, obviously, if this happens or that happens, we're going to go up or down. Like, everybody knows we're going to go up or down, right? That's understandable. Up or down or sideways are the only options, right? We don't need to be geniuses to understand that. So I've reduced my exposure to that drastically. I look at the charts myself all the time. I look at the coins, and I provide updates on Patreon of what I think and what my take on the market is. Juron is asking, hello, Rob, why did you block me on X? Juro, the only thing I can think of is probably that you said something rude. So I don't block random people on Twitter. I block only rude people who talk nonsense. Will, good to see you here, brother. So good afternoon, Rob. Hope you're well. Please check your DMs. I will do that. Thank you. I will. International Crypto Asset Ninja saying, good day, brother. Happy to see you. I appreciate all these take profits very much. International Crypto Asset Ninja, good to see you here, brother. And I'm glad you're taking profits. Well done. Go, Sam. We'll see, brother. We'll see. Let's wait and see. JGH is saying, scale out. Man is speaking facts. Exactly. Scale out with profits. All right, my friends. It's been 16 minutes. Not 10 minutes. I wanted to do this for only 10 minutes. Like right now, I'm having a bit of a day off for myself. I just had something to eat at the Armani Cafe. Got a gift from my wife, and now I'm going to go to the movies, watch a film. While I watch the film, I'm going to be checking nonstop on crypto to see what it does. So I don't, like these days, I don't really watch anything. I don't know if most of you are the same. I don't really watch anything. There's nothing. I can't sit down and watch anything because I'm working 24/7. Anyway, I'm going to watch one of the films right now that came out. And after that, I'm going to head home back to my wife and child. All right. Thank you very much for joining. Please kind of put a like. Make sure you read all the updates on Patreon. And make sure you don't get carried away and get emotional. Cheers. Bye-bye, my friends.